talk about your next major. This is probably your biggest show of the company at this point. Saturday night's main event, number 20. It's filmed on February 16th, 1989, Hershey Park Arena, Hershey, PA, 9,000. It's a sellout. It gets a 10.0 rating on NBC when it airs in March. They start the show, or they feature on the show, Okerlund doing an interview with you three. I say you three because I'm including Bobby the Brain. Great little promo here. And then the actual match itself, of course, goes to a double count out when everybody's brawling on the floor 9 minutes in. What was it like doing an NBC Saturday Night Live or Saturday night's main event?
And it was with the Rockers?
Yeah. This is not the 2 out of 3 falls though. This is
no. Any time on that show. Now, Dick Ebersol, for whatever reason, loved us.
Right.
And we loved him because he got us on all those Saturday night main events. And the number one thing was the exposure. The numbers were ridiculous on that show. Everybody was watching. And even more so, you got a double payoff. You got to pay off from NBC and you got to pay off from the company.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
And they were always packed. They were always big buildings, and you were paid just like it was a house show. So very profitable night.
All through February and even into March and April, you're all over, like Ontario, Indiana, Michigan, Massachusetts, Oregon, California, wherever you go, you're working with the Rockers. And you even have a match that goes to a 20-minute time limit draw that winds up airing on April 10th. You filmed it back on March 7th in El Paso, Texas, but still, you're having a lot of fun with the Rockers. It's clear you guys have chemistry because they keep bringing the match back over and over and over.
Yep. I think, I'm proud of that match, as proud as anything I've done in the business. I would have liked to have had every market see that match. That's how much I thought of it. And we were just having a ball working with those guys. I mean, they were special.
Your second trip to Madison Square Garden is a matinee show, 20,000 folks, a sellout, March 18th, 1989. It's televised on the MSG network. And Tony Schiavone, your old pal, is on commentary with Lord Alfred Hayes here. The Rockers are going to beat Arn and Tully by DQ, but the real story here is you supposedly sustained a cracked vertebrae in the match. Is this the injury we've heard about before?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the end. Those guys hit a double victory roll.
Yep.
And somehow, now Marty will tell you he did everything right, and I'm not going to dispute it, but my head did not get tucked and got jammed in the mat. And all I heard was purely accidental. Just one of those things that was probably my fault that I didn't get tucked anyway. But my arm started burning. I mean, right away. And when you're injured, you know it. We get hurt every time we go to the ring, but getting injured, you know it. And I rolled out of the ring, and Tully and Sean continued what they were fighting off to the side. And I rolled out, and it had to be just one of those things because I just stopped ringside and I'm trying to assess how bad it was. And here comes Marty, and I'm going, neck. Now, he thought, I'm telling him I'm hurt. He thought I meant punch me in the neck. So he starts punching me in the neck. And I said, no, you dumb son of a bitch, I'm hurt. Get away from me. He got away from me. We somehow continued the match with me just basically coming in and kicking. That same night, Boston Garden, we had another shot. And to try to go out and have the kind of match that town, which was a huge market, deserved.
That's a sellout. 15,200 fans. Not only do you do the match, it's 22 minutes long.
Well, heard or not, I knew something was bad. We didn't have what I would say legitimate doctors in the locker room like the business does now. I mean, you had a guy that would come in and check your pulse and look at your eyes and go, "Yep, you're good." That was some more of those doctors that commission doctors that were there to get paid. But I knew something was bad, and I had iced my neck all the way from the garden. And then I got there and I got, some couple of heating pads, and I was doing everything therapy-wise I could. I would have to go back and look at the match, and I haven't looked at it intentionally because I'm pretty sure from my perspective, in my end, I shit the bed, but I had a broke neck. And I got through another day or two whenever the tour finished up, ended up going home, getting an x-ray, and the doc said, "Oh, by the way, you got a cracked vertebrae." And I'd wrestled however many matches after that, so I just kept it to myself, spent my 3 days home, tried to do everything I could do therapy-wise, and went back on the road and just worked through it.
Wayne wants to know, Arn, what was the bigger adjustment when you left Crockett for the WWF? Was it travel or the size of the ring?
Travel. I could take a map and just about from memory, take my finger and sit you down beside me and go, "Hey, we would start here, Miami. We would go to Idaho the next day. We would go back to Boston. After Boston, we would go to Spokane, Washington. After Spokane, we'd go to Raleigh, North Carolina. After Raleigh, we would go back to New Mexico." And the skipping around and the length of flights and connections, you would look at me and say, "You know what? You're full of shit. You're lying to me. Nobody could do that." Oh, yes. There was a couple of cruiser guys doing that. And it was like somebody just shut their eyes and took a map and just threw darts at it. No rhyme, no reason, no anything. And I guess that comes from a place where business was so hot, they were doing business wherever they went. So they weren't concerned about how long your flight was. They were just booking towns and building availability on that day. Hell, grab it. It was unbelievable.
Mike wants to know, was there any specific instructions Vince gave you to alter your in-ring work, and was blading a no-no there?
Don't do that.
Don't hold up the four fingers?
Under any circumstances. That was day one. And what was the other one? Part of it?
Was blading a no-no?
Oh, yeah. During those years, it was, it was HIV. Everybody was cognizant of it. It was a very real threat around that time, and absolutely no blading.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.